So a 14-year-old boy charged as an adult in the killing of a 10-year-old girl by the name of Lily Peters. The details here are exceedingly disturbing. Prosecutors say the suspect, an 8th grader, admitted to physically assaulting Lily, then strangling her to death, and then sexually assaulting her.
So the 3 charges he has is first-degree intentional homicide. The second count is first-degree sexual assault. The third count is first-degree sexual assault of a child under age 13 resulting in great bodily harm.
We're bringing trial attorney Brian Claypool on this. Brian, good morning to you. The facts of the story notwithstanding, it's tough to talk about. Apparently, police have an admission. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, good morning, Bill. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it sounds like the 14-year-old boy has admitted doing the crime, so the first decision that the prosecutors have to make is, do they charge him as an adult or a minor? And it sounds like they're going to charge him as an adult, and in my opinion, they really should, because this is such a heinous crime. And it's not just a murder, but there's also a sexual assault involved. So, Bill, what the prosecutors are going to do then is they're going to ask the juvenile court, because the case always starts at the juvenile court, they're going to ask the juvenile court to waive jurisdiction and have the case heard in an adult court.
This is Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, western part of the state. You know, Brian, there are these cases that occur that are so revolting that even if you follow crime for a living, which you do, these are the cases that truly stand out. And you remember cases like these years from now, and oftentimes they set precedent. I don't know if that will be the case here, but I mean, you just think about this young girl involved, Brian.
Yeah, Bill, I'm a single parent. I've got a daughter a little bit older than this little girl who was murdered. So this hits home with parents worldwide. I talked to my daughter about being careful, even walking, down the block. I mean, that's the world we live in these days. But I think, Bill, an important issue here is that, what are we going to do with minors who commit heinous crimes like this? Wisconsin happens to be one of the strictest states. Wisconsin, Texas, and Georgia are 3 of the most strict states in prosecuting minors for crimes like this. Bill, if we were in California, if this happened in LA County, I don't think this 14-year-old boy would be prosecuted as an adult. So at the end of the day, you've got to measure, like, are 14-year-olds cognitively able to make a determination as to right versus wrong? Are they mature enough to make such a decision? Versus, do you have to, prosecute these kids? One last point, Bill. There was a case in Wisconsin a couple years ago. A young boy murdered a 7-year-old relative, buried this little girl in the snow. He ended up getting 20 years in jail. So I would suspect you're going to have a similar type of sentence for this 14-year-old boy, assuming he is convicted.
Well, if convicted, I'm reading he could face life in prison on that top charge. Wow. Brian, thank you for helping us through this today. Brian Claypool, nice to see you.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay.
Thanks, Bill.